All praises to the Almighty Ahaya. May we have unequivocal trust in Him. May He be your power, your strength. May you lean on Him and not lean towards your own understanding, your own thought, your own feel, your own vibe, but lean towards Ahaya and surrender to all His ways. Surrender to all His paths that He put before you. Surrender to all His chastening and surrender to the truth. Surrender to thus saith, for that is the word of Ahaya, our power. Now, with that being said, I want to bring to you guys a more authentic translation of Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, to help yield mine and yours, our people, from idolatry. You know, I'm going to read from the KJV first for the majority of our people, for this version is translated into over 3,000 languages. So it's reaching all of us. And the majority of us is reading this translation and getting this understanding and looking at this sun in a light that should not be shined upon him, for that's idolatry. Now, Isaiah 9, verse 6 reads like this in the KJV. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God. This son is supposed to be called the Mighty God, for that God right there is power, so he should be called the Mighty Power, this son. And he should be called the Everlasting Father, this son. Really? The Prince of Peace. This son is all of this. The son is the mighty power, when Ahaya is the ultimate power. This son is the everlasting Father, when Ahaya is the great ancient one from old, the everlasting Abba, Father. Do you not see the idolatry in that? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go down here in this version, in the Tanakh. See, here it starts at verse 5. And this how it should read, so you can get better understanding of this son who comes from the line of David or David. This how it should read and how you should look at this anointed one. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government is upon his shoulder. Of course, right? Because he is the king, the prince, and he is ruler over the 12 tribes of Yasharallah. He is the governor over the nation. So yes, the government is upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called what? Wonderful Counselor of the Mighty Power, which is Ahaya. You see the difference? His name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor of the Mighty Ahaya, the Mighty Power. See, so you look at him as that wonderful, beautiful, compassionate, understanding counselor that was given to us, for he is of the mighty power. He's not called the mighty God or the mighty power, making him an idol. But here you see it's exalting Ahaya by saying that His name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, of the Mighty Power, of the Everlasting Father, not calling the Son the Everlasting Father, but he is of the Everlasting Father, of the Prince of Peace. You know, it's a difference. For Ahaya is Ahaya Shalom or Ahaya Shalom. He is the Father of peace. He is the King of peace. So if Ahaya brings you peace, then this prince, this anointed one, shall carry and walk in the spirit of Abba, Ahaya, and be a form of peace unto his people. Especially when we get back, because this is talking about, like, when we go back. Some may say this is talking about Hezekiah, but that's another video to break stuff down. The Christians say this is talking about JC. The New Testament Israelites is talking about this is Yahushua. But Ahaya is making it plain that this is talking about the seed of David, who shall be in the new kingdom that's going to be formed once Ahaya delivers and redeems his people, and the kingdom of David is restored. Right? But you see here, for it's verse 5 in this one, in other versions is verse 6. But you see here that it says, for to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government is upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor of the Mighty Ahaya, meaning his fame shall be called. He shall be known as, his reputation shall be known as the Wonderful Counselor of the Mighty Power, Ahaya, of the Everlasting Father, Ahaya, of the Prince of Peace, the seed of David. See the difference? So read it again from the KJV, verse 6. It reads, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. You see the difference between one word, which can switch up a whole paragraph, switch up a whole verse, switch up a whole parallel? When you add the of, that takes away the shine from the sun, from turning him into an idol. So then when you put the of, now who's the of giving credit to? Ahaya. This is why this is the correct translation. And this is the Tanakh. This is the Ibri. This is how it should read. Now in verse 6, and here it says, for the increase of the realm and for peace there without end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, as I was just speaking, right? This is the kingdom of David that's getting ready to be put in place. See, for those who think that this is talking about Hezekiah, Hezekiah didn't have a throne. He didn't sit as king or prince. He was just a governor and was given a signet ring for a covenant. But he didn't sit on the throne to fulfill. Why? Because you guys forget that Zerubbabel comes from the line of Jehoiakim. If you don't know about Jehoiakim, now Google this, research it, and it talks about how earth O earth, right? Name this man childless, for no son from his bowels, right, from his line, shall reign and sit upon the throne of, of Yahweh or Judah, right? Zerubbabel comes from that line of Jehoiachin, you know. Let me see if I can look that up so I can be on point. I'm gonna use my phone right quick. Hopefully this internet worked pretty quick for me. Earth, what it says, earth. Oh, earth. Let me see Jeremiah. Let's see how that read. There we go. Earth. Oh, earth. Let me see. I believe this is it. Let's go back. Pardon me, y'all. Hopefully, this is making sense and you guys can appreciate the authentic version of this Isaiah, so you can start giving credit and exalt the King Ahiah. Instead of giving all of these exaltments to this son, this anointed one to come, or any of them, especially the idol of the New Testament. Lead a Piso Marcion family's version of what they think is a peaceful, nice and kind God, so to speak, what they say, alone, and return to Ahiah and his ways, his paths, his order. Return to the testimonies of his people, so you can see the goodness and the greatness in Ahiah. Understand him. I'm in a new marriage right now, and I'm learning new things, different things right now. It's things that I have to change and cooperate with, So, just I understand, It's a learning lesson for me, too, with certain things. I'm changing, enduring, and really looking in the mirror like, hold up, things got to change. Even with this book. Okay, now I found it. Jeremiah chapter 22, verses 29 through 30. Alright, yep. Oh, earth, 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 hear the word of Ahiah. This is in the KJV. Thus saith Ahiah, write this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days. For no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David, and ruling any more in Yahweh or in the land of Judah. And in case you guys don't know who this man is, and I'm trying to, do they say his name? They should say his name. For it is, therefore, thus saith Ahiah, this is verse 18, concerning Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Yahweh, they shall not lament for him, saying, oh, my brother, oh, my sister, they shall not lament for him, saying, oh, my master, oh, his glory. Okay. I don't know why I read that part. I just want to read it. Okay, there we go. So he has different names, like Jeconiah, I said Jehoiachin, but Jeconiah, Coniah, right? That's who this person is. That's who Zerubbabel comes from. He comes from the line of Jeconiah or Coniah. It depends what version we're using. In the Hebrew or Hebraic, it's Jeconiah. But if you read it in another language, it's Coniah. And then I remember reading this same name in a different passage. I can't remember how the name was spelled. It was spelled differently then, so it was depending on what nation had the writings or what tongue you're using to speak the name. And Zerubbabel comes from this line of Jeconiah or Coniah. So that's why he couldn't sit on a throne and prosper you know, like the prophecy is, he can't sit on the throne and prosper upon it because he comes from that bloodline. See, if we take more time out to read and connect the dots and the pieces, then we can have understanding of this. To understand that this is talking about the anointed future one, you know? Because, like Ahaya says, for the increase of the realm, of the earth, and for peace there without in, as we see, that didn't happen with Zerubbabel. And we could just X out, please, that idol in the New Testament. And after this, no other prince that sat upon the throne had peace. So we know this is future. So like it says, for peace there without end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from now and forever. The zeal of Ahaya of hosts performs this. The zeal. And Ahaya's zeal is truthful. His power, his honor, his order, his zeal, So just follow thus saith and turn away from the idolatry. Don't make men into idols. Don't make your theories and philosophies and ideologies and doctrines into idols. Don't forge the word of Ahaya. Just try to understand it and ask. And if a person is giving glory and honor to another and not Ahaya, then to turn your, give him the cold shoulder and turn from that. Now, hopefully this video was enlightening and informative. And if there's any questions, we can most definitely talk about it. I just pray that Ahaya be with you. So let's say a prayer together, you guys. I'd like to end this video out with a prayer. Barakatah unto you, Ahaya. Barakatah. For your Ebe Shabbatah. Shah Dawada. Your servant, from the tribe of Yahweh comes before you, Ahaya. May you salakya all our iniquity and iniquity of my forefathers and iniquity of my people today. For I and our people acknowledge our iniquity and the iniquity of our forefathers, foremothers, and forechildren. May you salakya and pardon all of our iniquity. And may you receive us graciously, for we offer the calves or the sacrifices of our lips unto you, for you is our hope. My people, that's Hosea chapter 14 verses 1 through 2, an instruction that Ahaya gave for us here in captivity, how to pray and how we are supposed to sacrifice and give offerings without a temple and a high priest right now. He says, give the calves of your lips. The calves are, the calves, the baby calves that sacrifice and offer upon the altar. And, that's what the Levites eat, when we give our offerings for our iniquities. And that sweet savor, that smell that Ahaya loves, barbecuing, baby. Ahaya loves it. But may you, this barakatah, all of us, Ahaya, hear the voice of the meek and your remnant who's crying out to you. May you forgive us, please. Shalom, my people. Shalom.